Okay, here we go. Hello, how are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment, 11:30 late night, second day of April 2026. The light goes out. I'm just going to be in here for a few moments. It's been a few it's been a few moments, 11 days to be exact. And if I was to go back and look at the show that I did on March 22nd, it was a Sunday night, 11 days ago. I think it was a 7 p.m. show, and I was sharing a coffee, doing exactly what I'm doing now. Just, hey, this is my life. Is it relatable to you? Enjoying a coffee, but I know at some point in that show, I did make reference to not feeling that well. Well, I certainly did not feel well. That was the beginning of what continues to be. Here we are 11 days later. I might say my energy is 75%. I'm certainly not all the way back to being healthy. No antibiotics, didn't go to the hospital, just sinus, flu medication, Advil, rest. I was so ill last Monday, I could not go to work. And you have heard me talk about the importance of going to work every single day. Like, we know that families cannot miss time off due to sickness. We know there are people living paycheck to paycheck. Monday, absolute train wreck of a day, did not go to work. Was so sick, Jen and I were still a bit under the weather. We didn't even go to the live taping of This Hour Has 22 Minutes. We missed out on that. That's how ill I was. Just would not do that to the rest of the general public, going into a space feeling the way I was feeling, regardless of a mask or not. So Monday is a complete write-off. I managed to go to work on Tuesday, Wednesday, just because the Tuesday the building was closed, less people there. Just, it was such a sensory overload, and I'll talk a little bit about it in a couple of moments, but I did go to work Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, not so lucky. I would have to say that last Thursday, a week ago today, was the sickest that I have felt since getting COVID-19 back in August of 2022. So I don't get sick that often, but when I do, it just hits me like a 2-ton heavy thing. Queensryche. So yeah, last week was a bit of a write-off, still about 75%. Back to work tomorrow to finish off the work week. It's Good Friday. So the building is closed, so another quiet day at work. Then Saturday, Sunday off, back to work on Monday. Another holiday, building is closed. So going to get through the next 3 or 4 days without really having to deal too much with the general public, because it is exhausting. And just to further expand on the sickness, the last couple of times, this time here and the last time I had a serious illness when I had COVID-19, maybe it's just me. I can't believe that it would just be, singular to me. But being really sick just plays with your head, plays head games with you. Your roommate in your head, which never shuts up anyway, is just on maximum overdrive. And it was really quite something to be aware of and observe it. How the saddest, not necessarily the most depressing, but some really sad memories from my not too recent past would just come to the surface. And I don't know how many times I cried, sobbing uncontrollably last week during the sickness. Again, it's not just the physical toll where it takes your energy, but it's just a mental and emotional roller coaster ride. But on the bright side, the silver lining to that was that I was able to suffer. I was able to endure that sickness, continue to do so inside four walls with a loving family who supported me, food in the fridge, the necessities that I needed to get through this. And one of those situations where you're just thinking about Andrew Goodsell, Robin, PJ, Krista, so-and-so, so-and-so, Frankie. Just, I could pull out some cue cards and I could list 100 people right now who may very well be outside in the elements tonight. So grateful, and I can't imagine. I just simply cannot imagine, and I wouldn't want anyone else to imagine it or even experience it. Being that sick and having nowhere to go but the streets of Halifax or the streets of whatever community you're in. So, 75% being sick is never fun, but definitely looking at it through a different lens this time around. When I had COVID in August of 2022, I was literally just starting this journey of documenting the unhoused crisis here. And then getting sick again and just putting myself in the situation of people that I know, walking a mile in their shoe, knowing how miserable, absolute misery, living outside. And I don't even want to call it living. You are simply a body. You're a meat suit, just having a horrible experience. And we really need people to step up. So again, that's just kind of where the sickness, that's where it kind of takes me. So that's why I advocate. That's why I continue to do my radio program, do my live streams, which leads right into a brand new show, Truth from the Booth, my radio program. It's going to be brand new Easter Sunday. I had a conversation with Shane Reed in Newfoundland. We spoke for about 50 minutes this morning. So over the next couple of days, I'll do my editing and get that up on Truth from the Booth, Folked Up Radio, coming up on Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning with a repeat at 6. Just a remarkable story. Shane, born in Alberta, moving to Newfoundland at the age of 8, in and out of homelessness for the last 10 years. So he is an advocate who is going to, again, educate the audience. And it really, you'll hear me in the conversation that I'm having with Shane. My stomach, it's in a knot because it's so incredibly frustrating. And I can't even begin to imagine how frustrating it is for the individual telling the story. But obviously the same crisis in St. John's, Newfoundland is happening here, is happening in communities all over the world. But it's just so, I'm so tired of, well, that's not the right word. It's disappointing to continue to hear from people who are suffering on the streets. They have the answers. They have the input. Those are the individuals that need to be at the round table. And to continuously hear about mismanagement of funds, programs being cut, the system is buckling. There is just simply not enough service providers, service organizations to deal with the amount of people who are soon going to be on the street, due in a lot of circumstances through no fault of their own. Like this conversation, I really want you to listen to it. I've had a lot of great guests on my talk radio program. and Shane Reed in St. John's, Newfoundland, a spokesperson for Tent City for a Change, St. John's. He's going to be my guest. And it's a really, really intense conversation. So, and towards the end of the conversation, when we were done recording, I made mention to Shane, living in Newfoundland, the age of 8, has the accent for sure. But I told Shane at the end that I was looking forward to going back, obviously listening to the interview again, doing the editing, but picking up at least half a dozen new phrases from Newfoundland that I can use in conversations over here. So just an educational show. Again, truth from the booth, and a big shout out to Mitch Bigger, Folked Up Radio. It's a radio station in Perth Andover, New Brunswick, #1 folk station in Canada, heard in 162 countries around the world, and apparently really big in Holland. Mariah's in here, which is wonderful. I just want to. Mariah has come in from the Valley here in the HRM. They did a great, quick live show today from Africville Park, just up the road from here. Krista Andrews is there, and they're in their mobile trailer, which looks to be in fairly good condition, and they're just kind of in limbo. They're at this park right now that, to me, it's off season. There's nothing really going on there at this time of year. But of course, bylaws from what I understand, they have so many days to find somewhere else to go. And for whatever reason, there seems to be some mixed messaging as to where they should go or where they can't go. According to the Halifax Regional Municipality, in a statement they put out many months ago, the 2 remaining designated encampments, the Barrington Street encampment just up the road from here, and the Green Road encampment, were going to continue to be designated until late next year. So I don't know if anything has changed, but from what I understand, and you can watch the video, I will share the video that was done this afternoon from Africville Park, put it up on my own Facebook page, and you can watch it for yourself. I don't see why someone doesn't hook that trailer up and take it over to Green Road. The only place that makes sense, and it's a designated encampment with power, with a gravel area, that's where Krista should be going. So anyway, I'll share that story. And the reason I wanted to mention Mariah, individual behind Feed the Pigeons Films, put together a great documentary here last month on Anchored, and between the two of us, we conducted 5 conversations that we put into this documentary. And apparently, out of the 12,000 plus views, there are people interested in more about me. Why do I do what I do? Who's Matthew? So Mariah's going to come over here to the apartment this weekend. That is the plan. And I'll sit down in front of the camera, and I'll be on the other side of the conversation. And that's a project of many projects that Mariah is working on. So I look forward to sitting down in front of the camera and letting people know exactly what I'm all about to the best of my ability. I like to do this every once in a while. How far are we into this? We're still under 15 minutes, another 5 minutes or so. I do like to give a shout out when I see contractors, when I see individuals who are doing good. Halifax is not, the worst place on earth, obviously, or we wouldn't be here for nearly 5 years. But I do like to point out, the good, bad, and the ugly. So when I see the good, I like to point the good out. So I just want to give a shout out to the contractors who continuously clean up encampments. I know it's not a fun job. I've done it. When I was out west, I cleaned up. And looking back on it now, I now know the trauma that I inflicted. Not even realizing, just seeing it as a contractor. going back many, many years, which is why, the situation that we're in here in Nova Scotia, it can be corrected. Can be corrected. We just need to start building. But I just want to give a shout out. They're doing a major cleanup at the Barrington Street encampment in the green space closer to where they put those stairs in a few months ago. So they've cleaned up quite a bit of area. But I know moving forward, when they do get around to doing the cleanup that continues down over the cliff embankment, it's much more. It's better for your manpower or your person power to have that work done with a machine, because it would take days for humans to do it, and if you know that terrain, it's just would not be a fun task. I would simply go in there with a bobcat, and they could just fill the bucket up. They could just keep filling it up and taking it out, putting it in a dumpster. But yeah, so just a shout out to contractors who continuously try their best to have the peninsula look as clean as possible. Two more things. Really looking forward to the Final Four March Madness. March Madness continues Saturday. So we'll have two semifinal games on Saturday, and the national championship game will be on Monday. So in the semifinal, we have Yukon and Illinois, and Arizona playing Michigan. So we're down to the Final Four. Some great basketball. The highlight of the Yukon comeback over Duke. I've seen that highlight so many times. I'm going to leave you with this. Really excited. I don't know if you know this. You should, unless you live under a rock. But there are four humans on their way to the moon. This is the first mission to the moon that has been humans. They're not going to land on the moon. They're going to slingshot around the moon, but this is the first manned mission, woman mission, person mission to the moon since 1972. So I actually watched the liftoff live as it happened yesterday. Last night it was like 25 to 8 Atlantic time. So just something to keep your eyes on. Just do your research that they've done some firsts. There's a lot of first happening with this mission to the moon with people. First time since 1972. So something a little bit different to look forward to. Okay, hope you didn't mind my rant. Some things just need to be said, and it's been 11 days, and again, 75% better. The sickness was just incredibly intense, and I absolutely feel, my heart breaks for every single person who is out in the streets, wherever you are, dealing with any type of sickness. I just can't imagine not just being able to crawl into a bed and just be warm, have a hot meal, have a shower. We need to do better. We absolutely need to do better. We don't need any more studies. We don't need any more people being hired, 6 figures for this or that. We need to clear land, and we need public housing for all. Andrew Goodsell. Okay, 10 minutes to midnight. My name is Matthew. You are currently caught up in the moment.